Good evening, everybody. Caleb here, Indiana Weather Network. We are here live covering a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that we have here across the state. First one would be up here in Newton County and Jasper County, Indiana. We have a tornado possible tag on this storm as well. It is exhibiting some signs of some broad rotation as it moves towards the Rensselaer area, so a storm that we're going to have to keep an eye on. No immediate tornado is likely on this storm. However, tornadoes can form quickly from rotating thunderstorms, so it is a storm that we're going to have to keep an eye on here momentarily. Tornado possible, winds up to 60 miles per hour, and three-quarter size hail or penny size hail possible with this storm as well. We don't have the best radar coverage up here, kind of in between radars. We have IWX. Their radar is out of service right now, getting some necessary repairs to that radar done. So hopefully they can get the parts ordered. I believe they are ordered, and hopefully get those repaired. Here's the area of rotation just to the north of Brook, southeast of Morocco. This is moving off to the east at, I believe, not very fast, 15 miles per hour here. And again, this is for Newton County and Jasper County in northwest Indiana. Expect damage to roof siding and trees. Locations impacted include Forsman, Mount Ayr, Brook, and Morocco. The area of rotation, I'll go ahead and circle it here on your screen, just to the north of Brook, just to the north of State Road 55, or just to the east or west rather of State Road 55, south of 114. You can kind of see a nice hook echo on radar here. Have some inflow, some warm, moist air feeding into the storm, and some rain-cooled air on the backside. Where those air masses meet, you get a little bit of what's called a couplet. That's your mesocyclone, and that's where your broad area of rotation is at this point in time. So we're going to keep an eye on this storm for any intensification. If the rotation does look to intensify, we'll get a tornado warning on that. Right now, just below tornado warning criteria for this storm here. Next to the south, no rotation in these storms down here, but we do have some gusty winds. Winds up to 60 miles per hour and penny-sized hail associated with these. This warning is for until 7:15 Eastern Daylight Time for Vigo County, Sullivan County, Clay County, and Owen County in west central Indiana. 6:30 p.m., severe thunderstorm was located near Terre Haute, moving east at 15 miles an hour. So these storms aren't moving very fast today. That could lead to some flash flooding. We have rainfall rates in the heaviest of thunderstorms well in excess of 2 inches per hour. Some cores approaching 3 inches per hour. So that's not a grand total. It's rainfall rate per hour, which means, for an example, if it's raining at 2 inches per hour, rains for 10 minutes, you get 2/10 of rain. That's kind of how that works. But a couple of these storms could be strong to severe. We have a weak cold front that'll be moving across the area here this evening. It'll kind of linger or set up shop across central Indiana overnight tonight, and we'll finish moving out by tomorrow evening. This will bring some much needed rain across Indiana. Hopefully, you're lucky enough to be underneath one of these showers and can get some rainfall. Hopefully, the severe weather tonight stays sporadic and minimal. We go into chat here. We got Stormlord in here. We got Christian in here. Maggie, Taylor, great to see you guys. You guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in chat. For the remainder of the evening here, before you ask about specific locations. Now, storms, what the radar looks like now, will continue to look that way for the majority of the evening. We have a weak cold front moving through the region that'll promote sporadic thunderstorm development through about 1 a.m. We'll gradually see a decrease in coverage after we lose the sun, but there's enough forcing, enough lift to get storms up, to get that air rising, to condense into clouds and thunderstorms. With our cold front moving through that, we'll have a chance of rain a good portion of the evening here through about 1 to 2 a.m. time frame. The best chance for a strong to severe thunderstorm is about now through about that 1 a.m. Eastern time frame or midnight Central time. That's kind of the time frame that we're looking at here this evening. Damaging winds is the primary threat, but we could have some small hail. The tornado risk is low. I don't think we have to really worry about tornadoes too much. It is a non-zero risk. The highest probability would be across northern Indiana. But again, I don't think that's a very high risk. I think it's very minimal at that. But it's non-zero, so it is worth mentioning here this evening. Back to our severe thunderstorm warnings. This one here does have a tag for tornado possible, meaning this storm is exhibiting some signs of some broad rotation within the storm. It has a mesocyclone, a rotating updraft associated with it. Right now, the rotation is staying aloft, which is good. But here on radar, you can kind of see where these colors are holding hands, where the reds and greens are holding hands a little bit broad ago, which is good. But we are starting to see a little bit of a hook echo on radar here. If I cut out there, I'm sorry. My face kind of froze on the screen. So if you can hear me, put that down in the chat. Let me know. Make sure my audio is good and you can hear me. Derek from Elkhart, great to see you, Derek. We got Corey watching as well. But as I was saying here, this rotation that we are watching on this storm that has a tornado possible tag on it coming into Rensselaer, it did broaden out in the last scan. That's some good news, but there is still rotation being exerted by this thunderstorm, so it is worth watching as it moves towards Rensselaer. As we kind of look at it here, and for those of you that may not understand what we're looking at here, so on the left side of your screen, underneath this white circle, this is what we call reflectivity. This allows us to look at rainfall amounts. Where's the heaviest precipitation falling and where? That's on the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, we have relative velocity. What are our winds doing within that rain? So the radar can take measurements of the winds inside thunderstorms, and they portray them in reds and green colors. Right now, we're using the radar in Chicago. So greens are northbound. Our winds going towards the radar, and reds are winds going away from the radar. So you can kind of see where they're holding hands right in here, just to the northeast of Brook. That's where our area of rotation is. But the good news is it looks rather broad. We are a little bit high up in the air here in terms of our radar sample. We're not looking at the winds just above the surface. So we are several thousand feet up in the air. But the good news is it's not overly tight, but it is tight enough to where the National Weather Service felt necessary to put that tornado possible tag in the warning to say, hey, there is some rotation in this storm. We're watching it. If it intensifies, we'll issue a tornado warning. But for right now, a severe thunderstorm warning is justifiable, which is a good call by the National Weather Service. And you can see they're on rapid scans here. They're scanning the storm very, very quickly, about twice as fast as normal. So they're keeping a very close eye on this scan here, updating very, very quickly. But the good news is that rotation is broadening out, and we're getting kind of a bowed out front to it. Kind of see how it bows out here, and we're not really seeing that couplet. They're not holding hands quite as tight as they were a few minutes ago. So this is a sign that we're starting to see a gust front develop versus a tornado threat develop. And again, the risk for tornadoes is very low. I don't think that's very high threat at all this evening. Damaging winds is the primary risk here this evening. There is some spin. We call that surface vorticity in the atmosphere, especially if you get any outflow boundaries that could help promote storm development. Sometimes you can get enhanced vorticity along those little boundaries, but generally they're short-lived, and we don't typically see a long-lived tornado threat with those. So the tornado threat quite low here this evening. Flooding and damaging winds, primary risks here this evening through about 1 a.m. time frame. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. And these blue boxes that you see scattered about, we have one over here as well before the severe thunderstorm warning was issued. These are special weather statements. These are issued for storms that are strong but are below severe criteria. This one up here for northern Indiana, for the cell that outran the warning coming in the Napanee, that has been allowed to expire. It expires in less than a minute, actually. And switching radars here, going back down to southern Indiana. Don't want to leave anybody out. This actually has expired. It just hasn't left my screen. And there you go. It has disappeared and it has expired. So strong thunderstorms, just not severe, maybe gusty winds below 30 miles per hour, and maybe some pea-sized hail in some of these. But severe thunderstorms tonight, if storms are able to reach that criteria, will be short-lived in nature. We're not really looking at a widespread severe weather event tonight, but there's just enough ingredients in the atmosphere here to promote some damaging winds, small hail, and some brief rotation can't be ruled out either. But again, I think the damaging winds and flooding threat far surpass any tornado threat here this evening in Indiana. But do be weather aware in Indiana. Things can happen. You never really know. So do be weather aware and have a way to receive warnings tonight if one is issued for your location. Right now, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Indiana currently in effect. This one here for 30 minutes, tornado possible, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. And this is for Newton County and west central Jasper County under a severe thunderstorm warning for another 30 minutes. Back down to the south, Brazil, Indiana. Terre Haute, you are currently not in the warning. These are for the storms that have just went through your area. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, including Brazil, Clay City. The strongest portion of this storm is actually to the south, coming into the Clay City area, right along State Road 159 near Lewis. A nice, healthy core right in here. Probably some small hail in there as well as some gusty winds. You can see that nice boat out front here coming into Lewis. Some bright winds in here as well, some bright greens. So likely a downburst ongoing within this storm as well. As we turn on our hail tracker to get a look at that to see what our hailstones, our updraft is doing within this storm. Nothing really that signals large hail within these storms, and we don't really have the ingredients today to really promote large hail growth. We have a lot of warm air aloft, and we don't really have the updrafts and storm anatomy to really promote large hail growth. But we could get some sporadic updrafts that are able to produce some hail up to quarter size. But right now, looking to be right around penny or less within this storm. More likely to see some penny size hail right around the Lewis area, or just areas a couple miles northeast of Farmersburg, coming into Clay City. Could get in on some pea-size hail, but the primary risk is damaging winds, and that's what this warning is for. The only risk within the storm that has met severe criteria via radar is our winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. For a severe thunderstorm to be considered severe, you need one of three things or a combination of the three. You need winds at least 58 miles per hour or greater. A lot of times you'll see a baseline of 60 miles per hour put on the warning for that. You need hail size, 1-inch diameter or larger, quarter size hail for reference, or a tornado. Any combination of those three is considered a severe thunderstorm. Lightning and heavy rain do not make a storm severe, though they are hazards of themselves and should be taken seriously. Back on our storm to the north, this is our most serious warning of the two warnings right now, since we do have that tornado possible tag in it right now. I'm going to see, I think I have a camera up near Rensselaer. I'm going to look that up real quick to see if we can get a view on that storm for you guys. Let me get that pulled up here for you. But otherwise, interior room, away from windows, if you are in the Rensselaer area. Broad rotation still within the storm. We'll have to see if they issue a warning extension for the rest of Jasper County, and there we have it. So they're going to drop the tornado possible tag on it. So that rotation has broadened out a little bit more. That's what we want to see. That's good. Right now, the current hazards are 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. This is until 6:45 p.m. Central Time, 7:45 Eastern. At 5:48 p.m. Central Time, 6:48 Eastern, a severe thunderstorm was located near Mount Ayr and Parr, and we're moving east at around 20 miles per hour. So it's picked up a little bit of speed. Was moving east at 15, now up to 20. That'll help with any flash flood risk associated with it, but heavy downpours are still ongoing with this storm. So do be mindful of that if you are in that area. So still two severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. This one here goes for another 26 minutes, but I believe they're going to let that expire. This warning here has our tornado possible tag on it, and the warning extension, they dropped that tag. So it's a baseline severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. So good news for Rensselaer. However, do keep an eye on this storm. Rotation could re-intensify. We always want to make sure we are weather aware during severe thunderstorm warnings. The good news is, though, where we saw the rotation earlier is now really broad. We have winds running parallel to each other. They're not really going into each other or holding hands, so to speak. They're running parallel. So that screams damaging winds and some convergence, and not necessarily strengthening rotation. So some good news there associated with that. If you hit play on the radar, you can kind of see what I mean. You can see just to the southeast of Morocco right there, where my mouse is, you can see it right there. You can see how those colors get pretty bright and then they broaden out again. So you can see that rotation tightened up a little bit and then broadened as the storm is occluding north or pulling north. So the storm could be cycling right now, or it may just be losing its mesocyclone and weakening altogether, which is possible. We don't have a lot of ingredients to really promote tornadoes today in Indiana, which is good. But this storm was able to produce some broad rotation across northwest Indiana, which prompted that tornado possible tag on it. So it is worth watching if you're in the Rensselaer, Jasper County area. Here's a look of that storm. Whoops. Right in. Let me get it back up here for you. I had it pulled up. Here we go. Bear with me. Here's a live look Of that storm, this is looking southwest of Rensselaer. So kind of what we're looking at here, your storm's over here on the right where my mouse is. You can kind of see a sloped rain curtain on it. This is what we call a rain foot. So that would be your outflow of this storm. So think damaging winds, gusty winds on the leading edge of the storm. That's kind of what we're looking at here. Maybe a little bit of an extended shelf cloud on this storm too. A little bit of an outflow boundary. There, the updated image. Kind of hard to see, but it'd be right in here, that sloping rain curtain. So gusty winds are definitely occurring with this storm, up to 60 miles per hour, which prompted our severe thunderstorm warning, which is for 53 minutes here until 6:45 Central Time, 7:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Moving east at 20 miles per hour. Green boxes has some flood advisories up here for Lake and Porter County in northwest Indiana. Had some heavy rain that caused some ponding on area roadways earlier here this evening. Our next severe thunderstorm warning to the south here, including Brazil, Indiana, Clay City, Indiana, for another 23 minutes here. Winds up to 60 miles an hour, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Small hail possible as well. Pea-size hail, or penny-size hail, rather, 0.75 inches in diameter. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here this evening. The good news is our severe thunderstorm warning that prompted our tornado possible tag is getting ready to expire, and this new severe thunderstorm warning is taking over. Right now, the rotation, a little bit of rotation, maybe right in here, just south of Mount Ayr, close to Rensselaer. However, it is very broad in nature. We'll have to keep an eye on it, though. If it re-intensifies, we may see the warning get upgraded to a tornado possible tag. But right now, quite broad in nature and signifies more of a gust front, more of an outflow versus any tornado threat with that. So that is some good news associated with that. But damaging winds is still a hazard here within this thunderstorm for Jasper County, Indiana. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Torrential rainfall is also occurring with this storm, may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Good advice there from the National Weather Service. Turn around, don't drown, as the saying goes when it comes to flooded roadways. It only takes about 18 inches of moving water to move your vehicle efficiently off the road. And much less than that, to hydroplane and cause your vehicle to lose control and go off the road as well. So never want to drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for the state of Indiana at this current time. So if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Always great to hang out with you here this evening. And thank you for staying with us here through our severe weather coverage here this evening. Yeah, for the remainder of the night, see a lot of questions in here. What will I see? Really, the simplified version of tonight is a cold front's going to continue moving through Indiana. In fact, if I draw a line, our cold front is sitting right about here. It's draped right in here. Whoa. That was not supposed to happen. That was kind of weird. Anyway, our cold front's right in here, draped across west central Illinois, and that'll be moving into Indiana overnight tonight. It's going to stall out, though, across central Indiana, let's say overnight tonight at like 2 a.m. It'll be sitting right about here. And it's going to stall out. It's not moving very fast. These storms are only moving at 15 miles per hour to the east. So a very slow-moving cold front, not a very strong cold front, but as that cold front moves, it'll bring the chances for showers and thunderstorms east with it as well. So we'll have periodic chances of rain and thunderstorms overnight tonight into tomorrow afternoon. Northwest Indiana should be dry tomorrow, but central Indiana, southern Indiana, and northeast Indiana will have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms early on tomorrow. And we'll see the state gradually clear out by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, as our cold front moves through. It'll bring a little bit lower humidity values for our Wednesday and Thursday, and some cooler temperatures as well. Cool in quotes. We'll still be warm. We'll still have summer-like temperatures, but the 90s are going to go away for a couple days. We're going to have highs in the mid-80s, lows in the 60s for at least 2 days. So that'll feel quite nice if you like to have your windows open at night. Next 2 nights are the time to do it, because this weekend we're going to heat back up and we're going to turn dry. The rain is going to turn off for 3 to 5 days, where we're not going to see likely any rain across Indiana, or at least nothing that'll really amount to anything. And heat index values, I know we're all excited about this, could approach triple digits again by Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. Heat index values could be close to 100 degrees again by the weekend. So enjoy this brief break the next couple days, and Mother Nature is going to crank the heat up after that. But we might have another break coming late next week. We'll have to see how our area of high pressure evolves. If it's allowed to weaken a little bit, some colder air may be allowed to come in. Cold in quotes. It's not going to be 70s or 60s or anything like that, but cool for this time of year. But scattered showers and thunderstorms the remainder of the night. A few of them could be strong to severe, damaging winds, primary hazard, along with flash flooding. But not everyone's going to see rain, unfortunately, tonight. These storms are going to remain kind of broken or scattered in nature, where they pop up, they dissipate, new ones form, so on and so forth. That'll kind of be the story for the rest of the evening and tonight. Timing wise, the best chances to see a storm here this evening is from now through about 1 a.m. Eastern, or midnight Central Time is about the time frame we're looking at here this evening. Storms will gradually clear out from west to east overnight tonight, with central Indiana and eastern Indiana still having chances of showers and thunderstorms through overnight tonight and into tomorrow afternoon. Back to our severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning for Jasper County until 7:45 Central Time, or sorry, 6:45 Central Time, 7:45 Eastern. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. This does include Rensselaer, and in fact, the hail core within the storm getting pretty close to Rensselaer. Go ahead and look at our hail tracker here for you guys here. Go ahead and turn on my split screen here just to get a better look at that. The good news is not really seeing much of rotation at all in this storm anymore. So that mesocyclone, at least in the mid levels and low levels, has lifted and really weakened to the point where I don't see a tornado risk with this storm at this time. We're going to have to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't re-intensify. But for right now, I don't really see any rotation within the storm. So that's some good news. Hail tracker, have a couple different hail cores. Kind of another little cell that popped up here to the north on State Road 49. Nice little hail core here and a hail core right in here just on the southeast side of Mount Airy. You can kind of see that pink there and some pink right in here. Likely some small hailstones, maybe around 3/4 of an inch or penny size in diameter, 0.75. That's what this warning is for. And radar kind of confirms that as well. We're getting some smaller stones, especially in the core there, as well as torrential rainfall. This storm isn't moving very fast, only about 20 miles an hour to the east, and rainfall rates in excess of 2 inches per hour falling within the storm as well. Big fat raindrops occurring within this storm. So very heavy rainfall within these thunderstorms. Back down south to our southern thunderstorm. This one here kind of split a little bit with the weaker cell near Brazil that is under a severe thunderstorm warning, kind of weakening a little bit with a stronger cell down to the south coming into Clay City. Have to see how this warning evolves, if they trim it back or what they'll do here. But penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, including Brazil, Clay City, but the strongest portion is further down to the south, just east of Prairie Creek, northwest of Jasonsville, and coming into Clay City. So have to keep an eye on that. And we have some additional showers and thunderstorms in the vicinity near the Effingham area, coming into the Vincennes area as well. Could get into some thunderstorms here momentarily as well. Right now, these storms are relatively behaving themselves. Really, a lot of the severe weather criteria, at least on radar, has been short-lived in nature, which is what was expected here this evening. We didn't really expect a lot of widespread severe weather here this evening. Storms are expected to be more short-lived in terms of severe criteria, and we're seeing that here. And that's largely because we don't have a lot of wind shear. Our wind shear is rather weak. We need wind shear to really help these storms get organized, get more put together, to allow them to access those other ingredients that are available in the atmosphere. Those ingredients kind of remain locked in the cupboard if we don't have wind shear and those other ingredients, which act as the key to unlock those greater severe potential. So that's some good news. We have a limiting factor here today, which is good. That'll help keep these storms short-lived and in check here through the remainder of the night. So that's good if you want the rain and don't want the severe weather. We'll put it that way. Unfortunately, though, we could have a few that could be sporadically strong to severe, which we have had here. The good news is, though, the rotation that prompted this tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning has weakened and really broadened out to more of a damaging wind risk here. You can really see the gust front on the leading edge of it here, coming through Rensselaer right now, actually. You can kind of see that bowed out appearance here where the reds are moving away from the radar, like this. You can kind of see these reds here protruding out. And there's our tornado possible warning. Just got canceled. So perfect. We have no tornado possible warnings anymore in Indiana. That is some great news. All rotation has greatly broadened out, and to the point where I'm confident there's no rotation in the storm anymore at this point in time. So you have to keep an eye on it. But again, the tornado risk this evening is very negligible compared to damaging winds and flooding. Those are definitely the greater of the two. Some small hail can't be ruled out sporadically up the quarter. However, we really don't have the ingredients for large hailstones either. We just don't have the updrafts to allow for such accretion to take place, and storms are going to struggle to really get those quarters down to the ground. Hail size up the quarter is still a risk here this evening through about 1 a.m. But however, I think more realistically, we're going to see hail size between P and penny size. I think the hail size is going to be limited to strong versus severe. So that's some good news. Not impossible, but I think improbable at this point in time. Damaging winds is the primary risk, where we have waterlogged thunderstorms. We do have a little layer of dry air aloft, which that can help pull some of the stronger winds down to the surface. It's called evaporative cooling is what it is. So that dry air gets into that thunderstorm, and because the air is dry, it evaporates some of the water. As that water vapor evaporates, it's really cold in the upper levels of the atmosphere below zero. And because it's cold, it can't hold the moisture. So that moisture just falls to the ground because the air can't hold it. It's cool. And that heavy cold air crashes down to the ground in a downburst or a microburst. And that's some of the physics that we have going on here today. And another reason why the tornado risk is quite low here today. We don't really have the dynamics to really support tornadoes in Indiana. They're not impossible, but highly improbable today. So there's some good news. Mary says, excited for the rain here in Goshen. Yeah, getting a nice thunderstorm up there. Most of the storms so far in your area have been behaving themselves. I apologize. We can't get a really good look up in this area because the radar service, as you can tell in northern Indiana, how their icon is red here, they're going under some maintenance right now. Had some parts that needed to be fixed on the radar site there, so they got the parts ordered. We're just waiting on the crew and the parts to come in to get those installed and get that radar site back up and going. But thankfully, we have the radar in Indianapolis, Chicago, and Grand Rapids to kind of fill in the gap a little bit. We can't look as low as what we normally could look to get the best view, but we can still have a good idea of what's going on in the area. So we'll take it. If you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to drop them in chat here. I'll be hanging out with you until these warnings expire. And then we'll probably pop off and monitor radar here behind the scenes. We'll be with you here for a little bit yet here this evening. Currently 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here in Indiana. Jasper County is the strongest of the storms right now, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. And also Terre Haute, Indiana, or areas east of Terre Haute in a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Although the winds appear to be weakening in this storm down here. So I could see that warning just being allowed to expire here in 10 minutes unless we see some intensification. I have to see how that storm trends and what the radar operators and meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis deem necessary here in a little bit. They're watching these storms very closely. Yeah, so we typically decide to go live if we have a tornado possible tag or a widespread severe weather event. If we get a destructive tag or a higher level severe thunderstorm warning, we'll go live. But if we have a tornado possible tag on it, we'll go live. Unless we have like a large widespread severe weather event tonight. We don't really have a widespread severe weather event. Just sporadic storms that are going strong to severe. So that's why we're live right now to cover that tornado possible tag that was in effect for Newton County. Thankfully, that was allowed to expire and our rotation has weakened, but we're going to stay on here and cover the warnings that are on right now while we're live. And then once these expire, we'll hop off and monitor things here behind the scenes. We go live a lot often for larger events, especially when we get widespread severe weather events, statewide events, whether you have a squall line coming through, a tornado event, whatever the hazard may be. Even when we're not live, though, we're watching radar very closely behind the scenes to give you updates on the page, as well as information out there as well. So we're always watching, even when we're not live. We're always busy behind the scenes, and we have our storm hunters out there tonight as well. They're out there watching these storms from the ground and relaying that information to the radar desk here. Wabash, Indiana, getting storms. Ask Christian. Yeah, it's possible if they hold together. A little bit better confidence to your north and west here with that cluster just to the northwest of Logansport, but they could fill in. Storms are going to be sporadic tonight, so it's really hard to pinpoint what areas are going to see the most rain versus no rain because of the sporadic nature of these storms. They'll gradually increase in coverage further east overnight tonight, but to what severity and what coverage is yet to be known, unfortunately, as they'll be scattered in nature tonight. But hopefully, you can maybe catch yourself lucky enough to get some rain here tonight. Hopefully, we don't see severe weather for your location, but many of us could use the rain for sure. Our crops are pretty dry. They need it. Our corn is stressed. We need that rain for the cornfields here before that corn begins to dry down for harvest. So we need a few extra rains to finish that crop off for sure. And the beans too. Can't forget about the beans. So for our growers watching, hopefully your fields are able to catch a rain here. And for the hay too. Makes for some good tonnage when we get rain this time of year. Third and fourth cuttings can be kind of light sometimes if we get really dry. So good for that too. Good for everybody. But currently, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Go ahead and check here to Jasper County. This is our strongest storm of the 2 that we have here currently. Definitely more of a damaging wind risk right now. We have 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail here. For the Rensselaer area, Moody, Hanging Grove, Parr, Axe. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this storm as it moves towards the Winnemac area and Francisville area, but currently not in a severe thunderstorm warning or statement yet. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this cell as it moves in your direction. If the National Weather Service in Northern Indiana decides to issue one or not, we'll have to see what they decide to do as it moves closer. I agree, Rhonda. We really do need a slow all-day rain where, especially at night, my favorite rains, I don't know about you guys, my favorite rains are like just steady rains at night when you can crack the window open, you smell the rain, hear the pitter-patter of the rain. That's just really soothing to me, and the plants love it when it rains at night and the sun doesn't evaporate all that water off that you just got. So, yeah, we could use some more rain for sure. We're dry, especially in northern Indiana, where we have a drought still ongoing in places and abnormally dry conditions too. I was on the road earlier today through northern Indiana, and it was some of the crops are definitely stressed. You can definitely see who has the rain, who's gotten the rain, and who is in need of the rain there. You can see a lot of the corn curling as well. So definitely could use some rain, and looks like several of us are getting that here this evening, so which is good. But back down to our southern severe thunderstorm warning does expire in 5 minutes. My hunch is that they're going to let this expire. Could see a special weather statement or something issued further south to take over here. But right now, this storm does look to be below severe criteria, at least on radar. Some gusty winds here on the southern edge of the warning box here, just south of Prairie Creek, north of Sullivan. So northern Sullivan County, maybe some gusty winds, maybe 30, 35 up in here. As it moves towards just to the north of Jasonsville, south of Clay City. Clay City getting them some gusty winds, but definitely some heavy rain. I think we had someone in here watching from the Clay City area a little bit ago. If you're still watching, let me know what you see there. I'd be curious to know what the winds are doing or if you're seeing any hail. Definitely seeing some torrential rainfall right now, but I'd love to know what you're seeing there if you can do so safely, of course. The storm here, though, in Jasper County looks to be weakening here a little bit, which is good news. Starting to see an outflow boundary form on the southeastern side of the storm, so that's encouraging. Gonna have to keep an eye on it though as it moves towards the Winnemac and Francisville area, State Road 14 here. But the good news is it looks to be on a weakening trend. That's really the good news here. Through with these storms, they're short-lived. We don't really have the dynamics to support long-lived severe weather today. They're short-lived, they're sporadic, where we have storms quickly become severe and then quickly begin to weaken as well, thanks to our lack of wind shear today, which is really good news. It keeps the other ingredients that you have kind of locked away, so to speak. So, but one thing that we are not lacking today in any capacity is moisture. As soon as you walk outside, it doesn't take you very long to realize we are humid, we are moist here today. Dew points are in the mid 70s here today, and we have a lot of moisture in the air. So these storms are putting out some heavy rainfall rates, well in excess of 2 inches per hour in the cores. So if you guys are lucky enough to be underneath and catch some rain, it could be heavy at times, but not everyone's going to see rain tonight. Unfortunately, these storms are going to remain rather scattered in nature through the remainder of the evening into overnight tonight. Fingers crossed that you're able to see some rain, but unfortunately, not everyone's going to catch a rain here tonight. And that's typically how it goes in August. Widespread rains are not overly common in the month of August. August is one of our driest months of the year besides our winter months. It's one of our drier warm season months here in Indiana, and largely because our upper level steering patterns that bring in weather systems to bring us the rain is kept up north, further north into Canada. We have what we call ridging taking place, where we're underneath a heat dome or a ridge of high pressure that promotes pop-up thunderstorms, but really prevents any large weather systems from making their way down south into our area, and keeps the rain and storms and the active weather patterns further north into Michigan and Canada. But every once in a while, you get a little wobble in the jet stream, which we have now, which is going to allow a weak trough to come on in. It's going to bring us lower temperatures next 2 days and bring us a chance of thunderstorms here this afternoon and this evening. So hopefully you're one of the lucky ones that's able to catch a rain here this evening and overnight tonight. Faith says, I hope it makes it to Wells County because my grass is getting crunchy. Yeah, I feel you there. A lot of yards in northern Indiana are starting to look a little brown. Hopefully we see some rain over here for the Fort Wayne area. We'll just have to see how it holds together. Really, no way to really fully know, given that these storms are sporadic in nature, they're broken in nature, and will continue to dissolve and pop up as the evening and overnight hours continue. First rain in over a week, says Amy. Yeah, good for you. Glad you were able to catch one. Um, for sure, any rain is really good rain this time of year, as long as we're not under one of these orange boxes, and as long as the rain doesn't have an attitude, it's good rain. So right now, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for Jasper County, 60 mile per hour winds and penny-sized hail. Still the going hazard here for the Rensselaer area. I'm gonna have to watch in Francisville. The storm is getting close to the county line here, coming towards US 421. Gonna have to see if we get a special weather statement on that, or if they deem that the storm has weakened below severe criteria. But we're not getting the best of look at it right now, just because of our radar beam is rather high. But based on radar trends, it does appear to be weakening in nature. So that is some good news here as well. But some gusty winds possible, and the strongest winds appear to be kind of on the north side here a little bit, moving towards the North Judson area. Could have winds maybe to 30 miles an hour, 25 to 30 perhaps up there. So have to see if they continue this warning or cancel it early. The good news is our warning down here has been allowed to be canceled. I wondered if it would. The storm's not looking overly impressive right now for the Sullivan County area, Jasonsville, Clay City. Winds 25 miles an hour, maybe some small hail, maybe some pea-sized hail coming into the Shelburne area, northern Sullivan County, just south of Fairbanks. Could have some pea-sized hail in there, but nothing really too overly concerning at this point in time. If you have a car outside, may not hurt to put it in a carport or garage until that storm has passed. But again, large hail is not really a super big concern. And after this severe thunderstorm warning expires or get canceled early, we'll probably hop off and then monitor storms here behind the scenes for you guys here this evening. But if you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in chat. Be happy to answer them here for you while I'm live with you guys here this evening. Always great to hang out with you as well. It's been a while since we went live for severe weather. We really haven't had any weather to really talk about other than heat and humidity over the past couple of weeks. So it's nice to see some green on the screen, so to speak. It's nice to see some rain again. If you guys have any questions or anything, you're welcome to put those in chat. Always great to see where you're watching from or anything like that. But for the remainder of the night, showers and thunderstorms will continue across the state. A few of them could be strong to severe, but I think the later you go in the evening hours, the severe risk will kind of go down, or taper down with it. If the storm does manage to go strong to severe here this evening, it'll likely be short-lived here this evening. Gusty winds, 30 to 50 miles an hour. Could get a 60 in there briefly in a downburst or a microburst, but damaging winds is the primary hazard, followed by heavy rainfall. So that's the main hazard here this evening. Gusty winds and torrential rainfall in any heavier thunderstorm. Not everyone's going to see rain, though, tonight. I can't stress that enough. I wish I could say we're all going to get a nice even coat of a couple tenths to a half inch of rain, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. Heaviest rain right now in northern Indiana. Could get up to a half an inch of rain in some of these thunderstorms up here across far northern Indiana. Or if you find yourself underneath one of these slow-moving thunderstorms, it doesn't take a lot of time to really add up rainfall totals when you have rainfall rates at 2 inches per hour. If you do the math, if it's raining at 2 inches per hour and it rains for 10 minutes, you get 2/10 of rain in 10 minutes, which is pretty heavy. That's just shy of a quarter of an inch. And in 20 minutes, you're just shy of a half an inch in about 25 minutes. So it can put it down at times when you have this much moisture in the air in slow-moving thunderstorms. And they did trim this warning back. They're keeping it at 60 and 75 for now. We'll have to see if they let that expire here. I would have to assume that they would. It's just not looking too impressive right now, which is good news for Jasper County and surrounding counties and areas such as the North Judson area and Winnemac areas. So looking good for the most part here. Nice heavy rain here, maybe some gusty winds coming into the Napanee area, some heavy rain, but again, we don't really have the best look here. If I switch radars to the Grand Rapids radar here to get a look at it, kind of a poor cross section here, just because of the radar gap with northern Indiana's radar being out of service right now due to getting some new parts. So yeah, thanks for that report. Sounds like they're in maybe there was maybe a brief funnel cloud around the Newton County area, or maybe Jasper County line a little bit ago, but no rotation in any of these storms anymore. So that is some good news. I don't see any rotation at all on any thunderstorm in Indiana at this point in time. So that is some good news. Rain, lightning, heavy rain, and gusty winds to about 30 miles an hour is really about what's going on right now. I really don't expect them to reissue this severe thunderstorm warning downstream. Could see a special weather statement, but the fact that they haven't even put a special weather statement out suggests that the storm is weakening below severe criteria. So that is some good news. But no rotation right now on radar. So that is some good news. But the best chances for a strong thunderstorm here this evening, generally north of Indianapolis, northern Indiana, could have a strong thunderstorm across southern Indiana. But the better dynamics are up here along the Michigan-Indiana line, Michiana area for the remainder of the evening. We'll likely hop off once the severe thunderstorm warning is canceled or expired, which I'd have to assume that either are possible here soon, as this storm does look to be below severe criteria in Jasper County here. Again, I want to say thank you for watching, and a good time to shout out to our sponsors here. We have Richter's Outdoor Services based in the Indianapolis area. If you have any tree damage or anything like that, give them a call, 317-665-3964. Or if you just want your tree chopped down, give them a call. They can do that too. Michaelis Corporation out of Indianapolis, serving them proudly for years. Give them a call, 317-251-1935 for all your roofing needs. They are the roofing specialists in Indianapolis. Feel free to give them a call. They are a huge part of what we do here at Indiana Weather Network. So always good to give them a shout out to say thank you for helping us out with that. But this storm does look to be weakening quite a bit. In fact, I'm confident on probably hopping off here as well, as this storm is below severe criteria. For the remainder of the night, showers and thunderstorms we'll expect off and on as our weak cold front moves through the state here this evening. Winds 30 to 50 miles per hour, primary hazards. Can't rule out a severe thunderstorm or two. Winds approaching 58 or 60 miles per hour. But I think the widespread severe weather risk is really not expected here this evening. But a sporadic stronger storm or two are possible. So with that being said, probably going to hop off here, and I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking with us here through our severe weather coverage here this evening, and we'll continue to watch radar here behind the scenes. And wish you guys all a pleasant evening, and fingers crossed. I hope you guys get some rain to water our plants and gardens and make our grass a little less crunchy. So with that being said, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.